everybody. I hope you're having a good day so far. So on my YouTube channel, I'm trying something different. Instead of doing just one big video every day, pretty much like I've been doing since I really started my YouTube channel back in January and late December of 2018. I've been doing just one big video a day most of the time, maybe two videos, but they're like 12 minutes. So I'm gonna start breaking it down into like maybe 2 or 3 videos a day. Sometimes I'll only be able to do one if I'm on like tight time, but I'm gonna start doing like more than 2 videos, just covering one topic. So this video is gonna be in the severe water threat, and then you'll see what my other videos that I put out today will be on. So let's go ahead and jump in. So right now I have the severe water threat for today pulled up. The main threat is in the plains, the northern plains, which is an enhanced risk. In the enhanced risk, you have parts of Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota in this enhanced risk. You have cities Bismarck, Mandan, North Dakota, Dickinson, North Dakota, and Fort Chase, South Dakota, if I'm pronouncing it right. Then you have the slight risk surrounding out in parts of Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, even parts of extreme northwestern Minnesota has a slight risk. Rapid City, South Dakota, Minot, North Dakota, Gillette, Wyoming, Sheridan, Wyoming, and Jamestown, North Dakota, you have slight risk. And then you have two areas of marginal risk. One that has the southeast in it for Invest 91. You never know, you can pop up thunderstorm in Jacksonville, Florida, Charlotte, North Carolina, New Orleans, Louisiana, Atlanta, Georgia. And all of South Carolina, most of Georgia has a marginal risk. In Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and North Carolina, you have a marginal risk. You have a secondary marginal risk surrounding the northern plains threat. There's also a chance for some supercell development in panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma, eastern Colorado, northeastern New Mexico, and western Kansas and western Alaska. There's a chance for some supercell development. We'll check that out on the HR model and the NAM 3KM model in a few minutes. But in this marginal risk, you have some parts of Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota, and the panhandles, like I already said. Pretty much not much areas. Just Denver, Colorado has it's the only big city, and Colorado Springs. But you can see not much population in the enhanced risk, which is good. An enhanced risk in this area. That there's going to be quite a lot of storm reports, but at least it's hitting. Hopefully, the storm does not hit like Bismarck or big cities like or not like big towns like Bismarck. Hopefully, like storms will just affect lower population areas like in northeast, western South Dakota. Hopefully, that'll happen. It looks like there's only a 2% risk of tornadoes in that risk in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Denver, Colorado, Aurora, Colorado, Lakewood, Colorado, and Fort Collins, Colorado. 2%, but there's also a secondary 2% in Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Athens, Georgia, Macon, Georgia, 2%. Charlotte, North Carolina, 2%. Not Raleigh. Greenville and Spartanburg, 2%. And Augusta, Georgia, and Savannah, Georgia, you have a 2% risk for tornadoes. And there's in the marginal risk down in the south, you have a 5% wind threat, damaging winds. Damaging winds is a threat down in the south if you see a severe thunderstorm. But there's also a 30% chance of winds, damaging winds. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, y'all. It only does this when I record. We also have a 30% chance of damaging winds in North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, and South Dakota. And then you have a 15% risk, what a slight risk is, I think, in Wyoming, South Dakota, and North Dakota, Minnesota, and Montana. Then you have the 5% risk where the marginal risk is, where the supercell development could happen in Panhandle, New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, and Wyoming. There can be some supercell development in the 5% risk. Then in the marginal risk, you have the 5% for damaging winds. Now, large hail is only a probability in parts of Montana, Wyoming, parts of Montana and Wyoming, southwest North Dakota, and northwest, South Dakota. And in that area, there's no major population center in risk, which is good. don't think look at this, 12,000. So that'll be good. There's not sure people getting. There's not going to be much getting affected. It's spread out. And there's still like 15% risk, and pretty good with there's a 15% risk as Rapid City, South Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota, Minot, Dakota, and Gillette, Wyoming, and in North Dakota, you have a 15% risk for damaging. Then in this 5% risk, you have this is where the marginal risk is: Denver, New Orleans, Colorado Springs, Aurora, Colorado, and Birmingham, Alabama. 5%. Also down here, 5%. Large hail threat does not seem to be major and a marginal threat down in the south. In these areas, it just seems to be maybe that could happen. All right, now we will briefly look at tomorrow's severe weather threat. Tomorrow there was just 2 areas of marginal risk. This may be upgraded to maybe a slight risk in some areas, but it may not happen. You never know. There was a marginal risk in northern Florida and southern Georgia and southeastern Alabama. You have a marginal risk. Jacksonville, Florida, Lubbock, Texas, which is out there, Amarillo, Texas, and Tallahassee, Florida. But then you have this very large marginal risk in Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota have a marginal risk. Excuse me. Almost 9 million people getting affected by marginal risk tomorrow. So you never know, that could severe thunderstorm could spawn or come at you tomorrow. But all right, so for day 3, this is for Sunday. Not looking significant. This is small marginal risk in Central Texas and San Antonio, Killeen, Cedar Park, Georgetown, and Corpus Grove. Then you have a large area of general thunderstorms. But that's pretty much it in the day. I don't think there was a day 4 to 8 outlooks. It's looking like the severe weather threat will be most significant today on Friday. Now, so look up here. The enhanced risk is pretty much where this area. So during the day today, let's take a sample of the atmosphere. It's 82 degrees, and it's pretty unstable. You see it gets cooler as you go farther up, which is good. And you don't want like the cap, which is warmer. You don't want warmer air above you. I think it stops condensation, I think. Well, I know it does. All right. So you can see this is pretty much what it'll look like. You can see some supercell development down here, but there could be like a line of supercells coming in parts of North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, and Montana, right there on the borders. Then by this is getting later into the night. This is probably about 11 to 10 p.m. You can see a bow echo and then some supercells maybe to the south of it to panhandles in Colorado. You may be seeing some not supercells, but it may be some severe storms. Maybe severe. And then on my Saturday morning, that the storms will be in the Kansas. So, but then you're gonna have more fire up likely throughout Saturday afternoon. We go to Saturday's outlook. You can see. Yeah, it's a large area. Okay, so now I want to show you the NAM3KM model. The NAM3KM model is a little bit more higher resolution. All right, let's give it a second to load. So the NAM3KM model says it's not looking very significant in the 3KM model. It only says like a few little storms, probably maybe some severe storms over here. Here, it's about 8 p.m., maybe 6, because I don't know. I think this is an Eastern Standard. Well, not Eastern Standard Time. It's in. When I heard it in Eastern Standard Time, this would be 8 p.m. But so this would be about 7. But you can see some supercells, but it's not looking significant in the NAM3KM model. But don't let your guard down. You never know. This may not be correct. And throughout Saturday, you see this line form. That's going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a good rest of your evening. And yes.